Raw Break family, Monday Night Raw tag team turmoil to determine the number one contender for the RK Bros. And also we got to see a Raw Women's Championship match, Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, who came out as champion, and also who's the new opponent for that championship. Bobby Lashley and Randy Orton, they set a match for Extreme Rules. Is the title involved? I'll tell you about this and more right here on Raw Break. You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community. I'm Juanso. Thank you to every single one of you for watching one more time the show. And we're gonna have a great time just analyzing everything that happened on Monday Night Raw. The show that, like, despite the efforts, I guess, they keep trying sometimes. Like, the show is not that great, but it's at least watchable. I'm not gonna say that, like, the show is going backwards. I think that, like, it's just 3 hours, that it could be really chopped up to 2. It's a lot more watchable if it will be just 2 hours, but they, of course, this time they gave us like a long-term old match, so we're going to be dissecting everything. Before we do that, one more time, thank you to every single one of you that is watching the videos. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and also give the video a like so more people are exposed to the original Raw Break. So let's start dissecting this Monday Night Raw. That it was from Miami, Florida, so a lot of the Hispanic community, you know, like, it was actually, there was a lot of references to that with Damien. We're going to be talking about all of that in just a second. So, like, you know, like I said, like, the main thing of, like, this show was, like, the tag team turnover to September, the number one contender for the RK Bros. And you got to see promos by the Viking Raiders. We got to see the New Day, also, like, see reminiscing what they won Scott Hall and also Kevin Nash, like the NWO, mostly like the NWO Wolfpack, you know, like they have the red and like the black like letters right there. So all of them cutting promos, like the 7 tag teams involved into this, like just cutting promos how they're going to win and they're going to become number one contender. Also same thing with Mansoor and also with Mustafa Ali, and also like you got to see Jinder Mahal and also Veer and Shanky, all the same like in Indian that they're going to win. So, like, you know, kind of hyping themselves up. Omos and also AJ Styles, they were like the former tag team champions, so that's why they also cut in the promo. But then we got to see like what really opened the show was like the RK Bros, like the current WWE tag team champions, and we got to see Randy Orton, Matt Riddle, that they're talking about how like last week, like Bobby Lashley and MVP, they tried to win those championships, but because like Bobby Lashley's just a son of a bitch, he's just like a piece of crap, they fell miserably. So you got to see Randy Orton hyping themselves up, hyping the team, all of that. Matt Riddle also mentioned that he will want that, like, you know, like the RK Bros, and in this case Randy Orton wear like a mask, like a snake mask, and all of, like the Lucha Bros do. So, like, you know, you got to see a little bit of like the interactions between Matt Riddle and also like Randy Orton. But then MVP comes out and he says, you know, in perfect Spanish, like, shut up, you know, shut up, you bitch, you stupid. It's like, cállate, estúpido. So he goes like that, and he says that, like, you know, they were lucky that, like, last week, but in the end, you know, they want a rematch today, and they're going to be adding themselves into what is going to be the turmoil. And also Bobby Lashley says that he wants, you know, a match with Randy Orton. He says that, like, he wants to put him in the hurt lock and then just put him to sleep. He wants to tap him out. He's running his mouth all the time, but like Randy says, that's fine, let's have a match together, but let's do it at Extreme Rules. You know, so this is going to be like the WWE Championship feud, and it's okay, I think. And like the main thing is, like, you know, the fact that like there's no credible baby faces to go against Bobby Lashley. They have to go and get one of like the tag team champions to do so. But like Bobby Lashley is like really intense. I like how like he delivers the words, very credible. And also like he just mentions that, you know, because they're gonna add themselves into the turmoil, they're gonna become number one contenders again, and they're gonna win that championship, and he's gonna retain the WWE belt and Extreme Rules, so he's gonna have a lot of gold. So very good promo by them. And also of course Randy Orton, the most dangerous words in the WWE, RKO. So really good start for like the show. Then we got to see the first, like, the turmoil, because actually it was split up in 2, because of course, like I said, the show is like 3 hours, so they need to give us more stuff. So like it was like the New Day and the Viking Raiders, they were the ones opening like this turmoil. Good match. The one thing that I didn't like though is of course the New Day has to look really good. They're the one of the teams that has more reigns as tag team champions, combined with like SmackDown and Raw. And like here you got to see Ivar did a beautiful splash onto Xavier Woods, really beautiful, powerful, intense. The move was delivered perfectly, but in the end Xavier Woods, instead of selling it and like succumbed, just like be beaten by like the splash, he actually rolls him up and 1, 2, 3, and the New Day like actually eliminates the Viking Raiders. So that for me, completely done. You know, I just didn't like that, because like, you deliver such a powerful move, you should be done and that the match will be over. But no, actually Xavier has like powerful strength, and then all of a sudden like he ends up like rolling Ivar, like I said, 1, 2, 3, and they get the win. Then the next team that like, will come out with Jinder and Bill. This was really quick. You know, these guys are jobbers, unfortunately. They do not have anything else better for these guys. So the New Day took care of them in like 4 seconds. It was just really quickly. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the one thing that they do have is a lot of chemistry, and they know where to hit the moves, how like they portray themselves really good, and of course WWE believes in them, and that's why the creative team always makes sure that they look good before it comes to any single one of the shows. We got to see the next team, and that was like the Lucha House Party. This, of course, they tried to like make Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado a little better. They tried to give you a little bit of lucha style, but in the end, you know, really quick, another one. Yeah, really tag team combination between Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, 1, 2, 3. The New Day will eliminate already 3 teams, and then the next ones that come out will like Maze and T-Bar, and this one's actually was like the one thing that like dominated Maze and T-Bar, completely dominated the New Day. It was about to like beat them, but of course another one, roll up. For the second time in the show, a roll-up ends up eliminating, you know, Maze and T-Bar, and the New Day are the ones that like go advance to the next one. So the next team that comes out is actually Mustafa Ali and Mansoor, and this like didn't even take place. Why? Because like T-Bar and Mace, they completely destroyed like both teams. They completely destroyed the New Day and also like them. So like you see a lot of action. They got the steel steels, and then they beat them like Kofi Kingston with it. So this happens to be like there's a disqualification. The match doesn't even go anymore, because like see how bad like they were like injured, like the New Day and also Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. But no, Sonya Deville, Adam Pearce, that both come out. They said that this is not going to end in Miami, so they're actually going to do this as the main event. The tag team turmoil will continue, and then you see all the teams involved, and then Bobby Lashley and MVP actually added themselves. So we will be the New Day, Bobby Lashley, like I said, MVP, also AJ Styles and Omos, and also like Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. So this is going to be the main event, but that's how they end the first big segment on the show. This took out like already 45 minutes of it, so I was like, okay, it's not going to be such a like, you know, unbearable show. It's going to be maybe, you know, not as bad as like what we're used to with Monday Night Raw. So then we got to see this match, and this was like to September, #1 contender for the United States Championship. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior, against Sheamus. This was, of course, these guys has a lot of good chemistry. They have given us really great matches throughout like 2021. And at the beginning of the Elimination Chamber, they had a feud. They seemed like this was going to be the feud for WrestleMania, also for the WWE title. That didn't take place, but like another great showing for these two guys. They're best friends, so they have a great chemistry. You know, we had to see Damien Priest also like seeing, because like this is going to be whoever comes out is going to be his next opponent at Extreme Rules. But in the end, you know, we had to see like the Future Shock DDT, the White Noise by Sheamus, like really good stuff like from both like guys, superplexes. Really great stuff, and also they deliver with intensity. This is guys like fight like they will be Europe. In NXT UK, we also covered that show, you know, family. So I think that like that's why it's always more intense and rough. But in the end, you know, another roll-up. So like I said, 4-1 of the night. 4-1, and I gotta just stress that out. Like, you know, Sheamus ends up like rolling Drew McIntyre 1, 2, 3, and you know the Scottish Warrior doesn't advance. So like Sheamus becomes the #1 contender, but then Drew McIntyre had already taken out Sheamus' mask, and he delivers the Claymore kick, and then just his spins. You know, Drew McIntyre seems like he has lost his way. He's like he doesn't know where to go. So a lot of people are saying that this means that like when the time that it comes for like the shakeup, he's gonna end up going to SmackDown. So it's a good idea, because like there's really nothing for him to do right now Monday Night Raw, because he cannot challenge for Bobby Lashley. So in the middle of this, I think that like is a really perfect opportunity to make him taken away from TV. Maybe just move him for like a week or like a month, and then just move him to SmackDown, and then he can be a potential challenge for Roman Reigns. So we'll see what happens, but he gets the Claymore kick, and also this is like confirmed. It's going to be like a rematch with what we saw in SummerSlam. It's going to be United States Championship match, Sheamus challenging Damien Priest. Then he cut a promo in Spanish, half of it, because okay, like I said, the Raw was taking place in Miami, so he said, para toda mi gente in Miami, and like he said, well, I'm going to beat Sheamus one more time, and I'm going to retain my championship, and you know, he's actually going to get Awakening. He's going to have like my move, and you know, all my fans, all like my Archers of Infamy, and family are going to be so happy. Damien Priest is actually becoming a really solid figure in Monday Night Raw. That's the main thing. He's really convincing right now. He has that potential of becoming like the number one babyface on Monday Night Raw. So he's good. He's delivering his lines. He understands. He believes. He's developing his character in a really good way. Good for Damien Priest. So the next one we're going to see Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley. I mentioned last week they're going to become a tag team. They are already a tag team, so they're going to go against the tag team champions. And this is kind of like, we'll see what happens, because as of right now, the number one contenders were Tegan Nox and also Shotzi Blackheart. But like, you got to see Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash, very similar, absolutely 100% similar of what like Randy Orton and Riddle are. Completely opposites made into a tag team, and they're the opposite ways, the opposite identities kind of match, and then they just become like a weird odd couple, and that's why they keep that. So they were like saying this, and you can see right there on Nikki Ash's like arm, you can see Daphne, because of course unfortunately she passed away last week, so like he's just paying tribute and homage. And in the end, you know, pretty decent match, but like the one thing is like a big comeback by Rhea Ripley. Like Natalia had the sharpshooter onto like Nikki Ash, but like actually Rhea Ripley got the tag, and then she did like her finisher move. He did Riptide, and on the palm handle slam, that's what it is. 1, 2, 3, and they advance or they win. So then probably they're another potential number one contender. So either it can be a triple threat for those belts, or they're gonna go with this and they're completely gonna forget of what happened with Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart. We'll see what happens, family. But at least this is what like I think is the right move for Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley, because they're not really into like the title picture with the Raw Women's Championship. So we'll see what happens. Next segment, family, Charlotte Flair. She's supposed to defend her Raw Women's Championship tonight against Nia Jax. So she cuts a promo saying that last week it was just luck, and she's gonna prove today that she's gonna be the champion. She's gonna remain champion, and she's gonna wipe the floor with Nia Jax. She said that like she's gonna make her bow one more time to the Queen. Nia Jax will also cut a promo and saying that she's not gonna do that. She's gonna walk out of Miami as like the brand new women's champion in Monday Night Raw. But you know, the match was actually, you know, pretty awkward yet. You know, like there was a lot of rumors that like actually they have a shoot match last week. Like there was a lot of you know, like spots that like look a little odd, like there was a lack of communication. That was the main report that was said, that they tried to improvise a lot of things, but because the communication was lost at some point in the match, it looked really weird. We're going to talk about that match in just a little bit, but now we're going to go to a segment of course, Johnny Drip Drip. Unfortunately, John Morrison, the report was that he was going to be number one, it was going to become a babyface on Monday Night Raw, but unfortunately he became a jobber. He did now turn out to be like a babyface, is now a jobber. He had a promo with Karen Cross. This was really awkward. This was like very, very weird. And you know, like he pretty much saying that like he wanted to get the Miz, but the Miz is nowhere to be found. So like he has Karen Cross, and Karen Cross says, well, I'm gonna start, you're the next victim, I'm gonna make you fall and pray. So like, you know, Morrison's like, really, I'm gonna have to lose to you. So this was absolutely quick. You know, he still wears the mask. This is the guy that they need to push, but like they started out in the wrong foot. They're trying to like rectify this. They're trying to make it better. I don't know if it's selling. I don't know if people are really liking this. To my taste, I feel that like it's going okay. He needs Scarlett. Scarlett is a big part of like the act of Karen Cross, so that's the one thing that like she needs to come back really, really soon. And you know, the match was like really quick. It was like what, 5 minutes, and then Karen Cross Saito suplex, and of course the straight jacket. John Morrison just stabs out. Is an interesting, you know, like as Karen Cross is just like they're trying to build him up as the next credible guy, and he's the right thing to do though. They need guys like this because of all the losses that they're having. You know that like on All Out we saw at the WWE Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan also as Bryan Danielson. So they need to build on guys like this, on Matt Riddle, Karen Cross, Keith Lee, guys that like they need to like, that's the future. That should be the guys that like you're gonna push and you make the feuds with it. That's the one thing that WWE needs to do. So that's what they did with Karen Cross. So now they go. Let's move on and talk about this WWE Women's Championship match, Charlotte against Nia Jax. This started out weird one more time. I don't know if it is that they don't like each other. I don't know if the communication is right there. But Shayna Baszler got involved throughout the match, and Charlotte at some point like she was gonna leave the ring. She's like, kiss my ass. I don't want to do this. Don't even look at me. Move. I don't want to touch you or anything. But in the end, they end up like having like a 5-minute match. And the final sequence of it was like another interruption or like also interference by Shayna Baszler, and then that allows Charlotte to hit like a super unnatural selection from the top rope to Nia Jax. 1, 2, 3. She gets the win. She retains the Raw Women's Championship. But the main story here is like that wasn't supposed to be the feud for Extreme Rules. Actually, we go back to the original feud that we already had said it was going to be, and that's Alexa Bliss. She shows up on the Titantron. She said that like she's inviting Charlotte to the playground. Lily wants to try one of those robes that she wears, and Charlotte's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to fall for your mind games. I don't want to be part of all of that. Well, Alexa Bliss is like, you're a Flair. Of course, like you're going to be a nonsensical idiot. Of course that, but, you know, if you don't come to me, I'm going to come to you. So she shows up, and, you know, we're like, kind of like the Bray Wyatt Undertaker fashion, and then Charlotte just doesn't fall for the game. She's like, what do you want? And Alexa Bliss just said, well, I won the Raw Women's Championship, and Charlotte doesn't hesitate. She's like, okay, that's fine. If you want that, that's fine. We can have the match. So we see that Extreme Rules, that is going to be like the feud for the Raw Women's Championship, and then she's lifting the belt, and you see like everybody's like, at least attention. You see like the crowd is not really sold into this, but you see that like a lot of people will be liking this feud. Two blondes, you know, they had matches before. They were not the best matches in the world. Remember Survivor Series 2016, that's where they have the match. So in 2016, that's what it was, and then it didn't turn out to be a great match, but the feud, because it's just like two blondes, a lot of guys love them. So there you go. That's why they have this again. So that's what I think that like is, I don't know if there's the right thing to do, but like again, no credible opponents. You don't build in your women's division, you don't build on your men's division. So that's why you just got to resource to all feuds and interesting things. And the worst thing is like Alexa Bliss might become champion in this version of Alexa Bliss. I would rather see Alexa Bliss more of a champion, or like more like a fighter, more like improving her wrestling ability, but that's what we have, family. So the next thing is that we're going to see, that was like 2 seconds also, Akira Tozawa challenging for the 24/7 championship for Reggie. He just did like that, like move that he does a pinning combination, like he does a shooting star press into like a pinning combination, 1, 2, 3, he gets the win. R-Truth comes out. The one thing that is really, really sad is this. Yeah, as you guys can see, Jeff Hardy is one of the guys that is running for the 24/7 championship. This guy already has written in his forehead AEW, because at least he's going to be able to be with Matt Hardy one more time. The Hardy Boys will be reunited. They can be like the Days of Impact, or he can be Brother Nero. They can do so many more things, because like it doesn't matter like how long he like signed for, they're not using him properly. He's just becoming a jobber, really no importance on him, no really like respect for Jeff Hardy, and that's the one thing that's why a lot of wrestlers feel that they gotta go to the other side. Why? Because they don't feel respected, they don't feel appreciated, and I don't know if you guys think the same way, but for me, poor Jeff Hardy. You know, not really like he could be feuding with like Damien Priest also for the United States Championship. He could be doing something in that mid card. He could enhance that mid card, but they don't do that. Or like even like the WWE Championship, a lot of people would love to see no more words, and he at least challenging Bobby Lashley. He doesn't need to win, but at least go for like an opportunity in Extreme Rules. That is not one of like your main pay-per-views. Just do this, and then at least Jeff Hardy can have a rub, can just be, you know, like a lot of people will be immersed into this business because Jeff Hardy, but unfortunately that's not the case. We got to see the return of Drake Maverick also, and you know, we got to see this feud, like we reminisce like the days of like 2018, 2019 when Drake Maverick and R-Truth were fighting for this 24/7 championship. He was from NXT. They haven't cut him yet. I don't know why. There you go. That's what we had. So let's go to now to Doudrop, and that's Piper Niven. Like she's actually cutting a promo one more time saying that Eva Marie was not in the building, so that's why she's challenging her to a rematch next week, and we're gonna see the feud going on. She says that like she's gonna put that evolution to end. You know, she didn't like that. She didn't like appreciate how she was just used to by Eva Marie, and now the Doudrop Lucian is in full force. So like she says that like she's gonna like be on her own, and she's gonna prove that like she's the best woman, and now she's gonna start going against other people. So I like this. Piper Niven, they're trying to like portray her well. They're trying to do some justice to her. I'm excited. Why? Because she's going to hopefully win Eva Marie, and then she has to move to something else. I need to see her like going against Charlotte or Alexa Bliss, you know, or like, you know, the main event, the main women that they have here on Monday Night Raw, because like she's a great wrestler, she deserves it, but at least, you know, she's getting some promo time. That's good. They're not completely jobbing her yet just yet, so we'll see what happens, but at least for the now, I'm excited to see how she's going to beat Eva Marie. Hopefully she does. If she loses, then I'm going to start losing faith on WWE once again. You know, the little faith that I have, gone. It's going to be gone. So family, let's go to for now the main event, and this was still the continuation of the turmoil for the tag team championship, like the number one contender for those belts, and it's again Mustafa Ali and Mansoor against the New Day. This was like another one. They try their hardest, but New Day, they have to look good. They're the ones that they have all the reigns, and that's why Kofi Kingston delivered a Trouble in Paradise really good. Mustafa Ali sold that really well, and then Xavier did like the elbow from the top rope, the 1, 2, 3, eliminated. Then AJ Styles and Omos were the next ones to come them out, and finally the New Day was eliminated. Finally, I don't want to see the New Day and the tag team championships ever again. They had too many runs, it's the same stuff, and that's why they lose viewership. So like WWE Creative, if you listen to me, change that, make it better. That's all you need to do. I'm not asking for too much. I think I just asking for something that is easily done, and they did this. AJ Styles finally the Styles Clash and eliminates the New Day. That was really cool. That was the main thing that you needed to do, because the New Day looked good throughout the whole tournament, so that's why I didn't care for them. So this is the final, and that was MVP and Bobby Lashley going against AJ Styles and Omos. Really cool interactions. The main thing I like is like how like Omos and Bobby Lashley try for the strength, like the power, like to see who was one like the most powerful man out of the two, and then Bobby Lashley tried to do the suplex onto him, the suplex that the British Bulldog used to do all the way high, and actually then Omos just countered and he did that, so that was really cool. Then we got to see a big stare down right there, like an interaction between Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley, hyping up their match, but it's going to be Extreme Rules, and then hell broke loose, and then we got to see like AJ Styles takes advantage of that. He did a crossbody onto both men, and then Omos took care of Matt Riddle. So yeah, like I said, all of this like caution, all of this chaos that you got to see right here allow AJ Styles to try to get like the Styles Clash also on Bobby Lashley, and then the phenomenal forearm, but then Lashley will counter that, and then he'll deliver the spear. 1, 2, 3. So MVP and Bobby Lashley are going to be challenging the RK Bros next week for those belts. But you know, we got to see Omos delivering a chokeslam onto the Almighty, the WWE champion, and you know, the night was not over for him, because then out of nowhere RKO, and you know, like Bobby Lashley looks all pissed off. It's not bad. They're not portraying him wrong. This is not the wrong thing to do. It's fine, because like you're just hyping Randy Orton, and like I said right there, it's official. We're gonna see this match one more time, probably to close the show for those belts. I don't think there's gonna be a title switch here. Just another thing to hype this feud for Extreme Rules. So that's fine. And in the end, we got to see the RK Bros celebrating for the third week in a row. They closed the show, and they actually are the ones getting the upper hand. So a Monday Night Raw that wasn't that bad. A lot of things are like, it's still, you know, like the match with Charlotte and Nia Jax, not too enjoyable, I will say, but at least we got to see the feud that is going to happen there. Also, don't forget to check out the All Out review. Family, you know this, we also cover everything in the professional wrestling world. The return for CM Punk, and also like the debut Adam Cole, the debut Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. All of that, you know, we have right there. Jericho against MJF, Kenny Omega against Christian. All of that we have on this video, so please check it out. It's already in the channel, so you know, don't forget to watch that. But on closing thoughts on this show, at least the RK Bros are still dominant, and they're the main force of Monday Night Raw right now. So I think that like is the right thing to do for them to close the show. They will not lose those belts. They have to keep going with this. Their merch is actually selling, so that's what they have. That's what they gave us, family. So this is the review for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so very much one more time to every single one that is watching. It doesn't matter the part of the world. We love you. We appreciate you. Just keep, like I said, subscribing. Hit that bell for notifications, and follow us in all the social media world: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, everywhere. You know, we're right there. And tomorrow we will have Jean Paul to do NXT, you know, the last show with the current format, and then in next week we're gonna see the new focus on NXT, the rebranding of that show. So we'll see what happens. I'm Juanso, and I'm saying bye to you by saying